Well, hello. Welcome to our Pupil and Family Assembly for the week beginning the 8th of February. This is a relatively short assembly this week. It's really just a process of passing on pieces of information and some updates to families and pupils. First of all, the First Minister obviously spoke last Tuesday, the 2nd of February, and made some announcements around senior phase pupils, that's pupils in S4 to S6, who are studying practical subjects, who will be encouraged to attend school to complete some practical assessments and some practical practice from the 22nd of February. Now, the actual detail of what that looks like, of how many pupils that will apply to, is still to be fully ironed out, both by the Scottish Government. We're expecting further information on the 12th of February, and also from Falkirk Council, to ensure that all schools are, of course, speaking and communicating in a consistent manner. So therefore we will of course be in touch with families as soon as we have clarification as to exactly which subjects that applies to, which pupils it also applies to, and the amount of time that they were expected to attend school. But as soon as we have that information, we will come back to you with more details, most likely next week. Families have also been asking about reports, parents' nights and course choice, which of course is understandable. At this time of the year, this is generally where the school's focus and its diary and calendar moves towards thinking not only about updating families about the progress their child is making for this session, but also about steps that they can help support their child in making the right choices for next session. So some information obviously to share with you around that. First of all, reports. So currently all staff are completing reports for pupils in S2 through to S6. So every pupil in S2 to S6 is having the report written just now. The reports will be issued to all families on the 26th of February. That date means that all families will receive an email with a digital copy of the report on the 26th of February. Now that report will of course include recommendations for next year for pupils in S2, S3, S4 and S5, and that will help inform the course choice process. The next S1 report is of course scheduled for May. With regards to parents' nights, currently parents' nights are being postponed and they're being reviewed in line with national guidance, and as soon as we have further information to share with families around about parents' nights, we will of course reach out to you with that information as quickly as possible. So with regards to course choice, a number of families are of course beginning to think about what their son or daughter is going to take next year, and moreover some of our young people are also beginning to think about what they're going to move on to after they have come to the end of the school year, and that might be full-time college, it might be an apprenticeship, it might be going straight into work, or it might be moving on to university. Now, with regards to the whole course choice process, as I've said before, the reports will be issued on the 26th of February, and for pupils who are involved in course choice, so that's S2, S3, S4 and S5 pupils, their reports will feature a recommendation in terms of what departments are suggesting their son or daughter should take if they want to continue in that subject or that faculty next year. So the report will therefore form a really important piece of information for families and for pupils to help guide their decisions. The other supports that we're offering will of course be an option of discussion with either their head of house or year head, their careers advisor or the flexible learning teacher Mrs. Lee, and that opportunity will be given to all parents following the issuing of the reports on the 26th of February. So when the reports are emailed to families, there will also be a Google form which will also be emailed to families, and we would ask families to fill out that information if they'd like to speak to, as I said, either a head of house, year head, a career advisor or Mrs. Lee, to talk about what their son or daughter should be thinking about taking for next year. So those conversations will help guide course choice, and they'll run from the 26th onwards of February up to the 12th of March, which is the deadline for course choice forms to be completed and returned to the school. Now, understandably, there's an awful lot of information that will come to families on the back of the discussions around about course choice, and that will be course choice booklets, video links, college options for pupils moving into either foundation apprenticeships or school college partnership courses. There will of course be a range of websites that we can offer to families, as well as other documentation, and there will be a much more fulsome assembly taking place next week which will contain all that information.